For the past several years, I have been traveling the Midwest looking for kick-ass bands and quality venues that you need to know about. I am Jeremy Schindorf, and this is That Local Metal Show. Militia. Tonight we are here with our friends, Wretch. Say hello, everybody.
How you doing, guys?
Hello.
This is Nick. He is a guitar guru. Then we have Juan Ricardo.
Hello, everybody.
Tim. He is bass extraordinaire. And Michael down there on the end. Jeff, the drummer, was not able to be with us tonight. But we're shooting in a cool place tonight. We are in Cyclops Tattoo in the artsy district of East Cleveland, the Waterloo area. This is Aaron Lung's tattoo studio. He is, you may know him from Sparrow Milk and Venom and James and the Vulgar Devils. So he allowed us to use his cool little shop tonight to film this interview with Wretch. So let's get started. There's a lot of new things going on with Wretch. I mean, you have a new album coming out. Yes. I hear there's a tour in the mix.
Yes.
So let's start with that.
Well, the new album, we just got the masters back. They're shipped off to Germany. I would expect the album to be out, I think, sometime in February. The release for it, they seem to take about 3 months for a turnaround once they get the final product from us. And we're going to be heading over to the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany in March for 3 weeks. And it's going to be great. We're looking forward to it. We can't wait to get on the road over there, you know?
Incredible.
So it's cool. It's good stuff. A lot of good stuff happening right now for us.
Yeah, definitely. You actually played at a venue that I was promoting out of, I don't know, a month ago or so, night before Halloween.
Yes.
With Power Theory, yes. Another one of the many bands that you're in.
Yes.
Your fingers got to be bleeding, man.
You know what? For an old guy, they're handling all right, I guess. Yeah.
That's the Cleveland syndrome, I call it. Everybody I know in Cleveland always plays in multiple bands. I mean, Juan, you play in another band?
Yeah, I was playing a bunch of bands. Yeah. Well, I sing for them, right?
Well, yeah, true that. And Tim, you're in multiple bands as well?
Yeah, about 5 or so right now.
What are some of those bands?
Vandalist. I'm in Destructor. I'm in an Iron Maiden tribute band called Edward Be Thy Name. We're like based out of the Youngstown area.
Oh, cool.
Kick ass. And Eternal Legacy's still around. We're talking about putting another album out next year sometime. And and Wretch also. I've been with these guys for 12 years now.
Yeah, man. What about you, Michael?
Just one band?
That's
it.
That's because he's not in Cleveland.
I'm from Dayton.
Yeah, so he lives down
a long drive.
Yeah,
wow.
Drive away, man.
Yeah, you're south of me.
All of my other band time is spent on the road driving to Cleveland.
Very nice, very nice. What's the name of the new album?
It's going to be called The Hunt.
Okay.
Yes.
Any vinyl release or just CD and digital?
As far as I know right now, no. It'll be out on CD and digital release. But they are going to be re-releasing Warriors album on vinyl. It'll be a
nice
limited edition doubles album.
It's going to have a different cover also.
It's going to have a different cover, and it's going to include 3 bonus live tracks on it. And I think those are all going to coincide, I think, coming out around the same time.
Very cool.
I think the label wants to try to do all this at the same time as a package when we're going on tour.
Right.
So
Sure.
We're locking the songs up before we go on tour, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll all be available right before we head out there.
So that's March when you guys are going?
Yeah, March 3rd is the first date of the tour.
Like 14 or 15 dates, I believe.
Yeah,
something?
14 or 15 days, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, there's only a couple days off in between
the
everything.
3rd to the 19th.
Yeah. So it's a couple festivals in there we're playing, so
yeah,
it'll be pretty cool.
All my friends go to Europe and I'm here.
The scary thing is over there's a huge metal scene, and no matter even if you play small club, big club, whatever, people show up. People show up and they go nuts for it.
I've heard it from everybody.
It's just an amazing thing over there.
Right. Now let's talk about your record label. You guys are signed to Pure Steel,
yes, sir.
Which is a German label, correct?
Yes.
How long?
We've been on there, what, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah?
Yeah, everything's been going okay. We put the first album out, Warriors, with them. We did pretty well. We got a really good response, again, over there, especially. So we're doing this one with them, and hopefully we can go just farther than we have.
Right.
That's the process thing. We're trying to get take steps. That's all we can do,
Sure. I've seen you guys play at the Empire and the Foundry, and I have a cool little story about that was Ron's last show at the Empire.
Yes.
And my entire family was there.
Yes.
Chris had asked me to come along and be a part of that show. So we had the whole family there, and my, at the time, 5-year-old Wyatt, he was right in front of you the entire time.
I know he
little
was.
toe-headed boy.
Yeah.
And that was his first, he's been to a couple other shows, Korea Diaz and Tim Ripper Owens and all that, but that was the first time I really saw him interact with a show. So like the metalhead started coming out at that show, and you were so perceptive. You had come down, you fist bumped him once, and he looked at me like, that's the coolest thing that's ever happened to me, man. And from there, the fist started going in the air, and I've got my own little camera on it. I've got so much video of you guys from that night, but then half of it went whoop, and was watching him because and he was like breaking stuff off.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We feed off that stuff, man.
Yeah.
What are we there for? Crowd, man.
Right.
We love that stuff.
And you had people from in their 50s down to 5 years old with fists in there that night. I love stuff like that. That's
what we do. That's what we always do,
I can remember my first show was by pure accident.
Yeah.
I was with a real good friend. We were hanging out, and I'll show you this year. It was 1976. Okay, and I'm in high school, so.
You age very well.
Yeah, thank you.
You age very well, my dude.
And we heard music. It was like we're on the west side of Cleveland. We could hear music, like bands playing. Like, what is that? So we literally just from the west side of Cleveland just started walking toward the music. And we kept walking, and we ended up at the lakefront. And they actually, MMS was putting a concert on, a free concert at the time called Smokestack on the beach.
Really?
With the stage, it was called Smokestack.
I knew they had the World Series of rock, but I never heard of that.
This is 1976, went down the beach. The headlining band was Joe Crocker. Michael Stanley was playing. That was back '76 when their albums were good. But the two bands in the middle, they had the Pure League opened up, something like that. But then came on the first tour of Angel.
Really?
Angel off the ground
On the beach.
just came
Yeah.
out, and Angel was on. It was literally like oh my God.
Yeah.
We'd never seen anything like it. And then after Angel was the first tour of Sammy Hagar after he left Montrose.
Montrose, yeah.
His first solo career. And he was, I remember when I said, that's what I want to do. I want to sing
That's
like
what
that.
did it, huh?
There you go. There it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Militia, tonight we are in East Cleveland in the Waterloo Arts District at the Beachland Ballroom for the 8th annual Cleveland Holiday Food Drive. There are so many bands here tonight. It is such a stacked stellar bill. It's all for a great cause, for feeding the homeless and the little doggies and cats and everything of the area. So let's go on in and check out the Beachland Ballroom. All right, anybody who's been to the Beachland before, this is the entrance when you first come in. Got this really cool old ticket taker booth there. Let's go walk into the tavern and I can show you what that room looks like.
Oh yeah, I know.
Seen many shows in here. You'll get nationals and a lot of locals in this room. I've seen everybody from Black Pussy to Sparrow Milk here at cool little stage. Let's go over here and take a look at it. This room's about 150, but you can shoehorn in 200 for sure. This is where they've got all the auction items for tonight. This is phenomenal how they've got this set up. Everybody that donated is by a number up here, and they've got it printed off on the wall so you can go by number 16, number 21, whatever, and put your money down on which item you want. All right, now we're gonna enter into the actual ballroom. This is where the big stage is. This is roughly a 600 cap room. A lot of nationals play here. So come on in. Pretty large room, nice, old vibe. It's the Beachland, man. You got hardwood floors and rock and roll. Let's go up and take a look at this stage. All right, we're actually in the ballroom of the Beachland Ballroom, and this is a 600 capacity room. I've seen many shows here. I was just here last week for Nashville Pussy and Reverend Horton Heat and Lucky Tubs, and this room was packed. You couldn't get another person in here. The sound is so great. The vibe is cool. You got hardwood floors. Feels like you're in an old honky tonk, man. It's really cool. Great stage. This is the back tavern at the Beachland Ballroom. Really cool 50s retro. All kinds of groovy stuff going on in this building. And this is no different than the rest, man. It fits everything else about the place. Beachland Ballroom and Tavern. Hard to beat, East Cleveland. Man, so, well, we'll talk a little bit about tonight. We're going to go across to the Beachland here in a few moments for the 8th annual holiday food drive.
Right.
Something that Bill Peters has been putting on for a while, well, for 8 years now. Great, great benefit,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
definitely.
You can bring your donated food, and it either goes to the Greater Cleveland Food Bank or Humane Society. There's all kinds of raffle stuff and some really, really awesome raffle
Yeah,
stuff.
some
Yeah.
excellent stuff. And a lot of different labels and different record people and bands from, you know, national acts and artists like Derek Cass, who does all the Iron Maiden
Yeah.
stuff, donated art. I mean, just amazing,
very
amazing
cool.
stuff. You
Very
know?
cool thing.
And I saw some stuff.
Magazines and
Ken
everything.
Kitt had some pictures of some early Metallica stuff over there.
Yeah,
That's like
that's awesome.
you're not
Very
gonna find
good.
it
Right,
anywhere
private
else.
collectors like
Yeah, stuff you
like
just-
Iron Eagle that actually brought his
Yeah.
own private collector stuff with signed autographs.
I finally got to meet him in person today for the first time. This has been my unicorn. For 4 years, I've tried to make it to the show, but something has either happened or I had a show booked somewhere else. And I talked to Bill back in like June or July to make sure I didn't book on this date. Is it the 3rd or the 10th? What's it going to be? And he's like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the 3rd. So
Oh,
I
good.
booked both of them off to make sure I got to this.
Good.
And then this has come to fruition since then. And this has been a fun thing to do and to be able to talk about bands that, you know, like maybe the western side of the state hasn't heard about or Wheeling, West Virginia hasn't heard
Right.
about. We found out today that we're really starting to get a following. We've got some German friends now
Nice.
that are following on the YouTube channel, and Portugal. We had a gentleman
Nice.
today
There we go.
from
Very
Portugal saying, "I love what you're doing. Bring more doomy metal. You know, I love that stuff." And
Right.
we've got some in the Netherlands and Australia, and so it's starting to happen. and
It's a
come together.
community. It really is. It's,
Oh,
you know,
totally,
I
yeah.
mean, it's when you really, you know, see how it all works and that there's a love of metal all around the world.
Yeah.
And that it doesn't matter the language, and there seems to be that connection that you
Yeah.
understand that you enjoy this band and these bands, and everybody's looking for new music and what's
Yeah,
new.
oh yeah, you
Like-
click on
Yeah,
YouTube
that's
and
the
you
one,
say you
yeah.
watch a Halloween video.
Yeah.
Well, then the next 4 that are queued up are like a Stradivarius and a guy. And, you know, so it's all the same type of stuff. And if you've never heard of those guys,
Yeah.
so you end up checking them out. And you go, okay, wow.
Well, a
you know,
lot of times too, though, if you actually keep going, you start getting into more and more obscure bands.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It starts, you know, all of
Yeah.
a sudden you love, for instance, Halloween. All of a sudden you're coming across bands, and if you keep going far
You
enough
may
down,
also
Yeah,
like-
you end up with Wretch.
Yeah, you
So-
probably end up finding us, right?
Right,
Which
so-
is great for us.
Yeah.
You know, and guys like us where the level we're at, you know, before you just couldn't reach anybody.
Yeah, you had to have some kind of
Yeah.
a big label to do anything. Otherwise, you were just going to be regional success.
Right, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know?
And you guys are all over the place. And
Yeah, it's
rightfully
cool.
so.
You know,
Yeah.
it's very cool. It's weird to see how it's changed from 30 years ago to now.
Oh yeah.
To where
definitely no
we're
money
pounding our heads
anymore.
again.
There's no money.
Money's the same, though.
No money. Yeah,
have to love it all.
The money's the same. There you go.
Yeah, that's the only thing that hasn't changed is there's no money in it. But you know, I mean, we're lucky enough to where we get invited to do things that a lot of guys just don't get to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the best part of it. You know, hey, we get to
It's
go
love
on-
of music now.
Yeah, we get to go to go to Europe. You know, and
If you didn't
we
love
were
the music, you would
Oh,
be
no,
in
yeah, we
numerous
wouldn't even
bands.
bother.
And,
Yeah, there'd be no
Yeah,
reason
right.
to do this.
Yeah.
No, because we kill ourselves financially doing this. You know,
I know.
it's just crazy. But
Nobody talks about that.
No.
It's kind of like a
yeah, that's the people that people don't know that you spend your own money putting a product out and putting merch out and hoping that you get half of your return
Right.
back
break even.
on it.
That's
You
what
know?
we tried to
Because you're not going to make any money.
No,
I'm going to
you
speak
know?
from the merch end of my
Yeah,
own.
you know, it's crazy, but you know, so what's the reason to do it now? We love doing it, you know,
Yeah.
and we'll keep doing this, as long as we want to,
Right.
you know.
Thank Ron for this. This is called The Warriors of Matter. It's Warriors! Yeah! We are battle. Empowering for justice. Searching for power and interaction. A quest for a power's reveal. Sons of fortune, true to the end. Left you for the masters alone. Blood that is melting, it's
Another little thing I want to talk about, a little tech corner. What do you prefer to play? What is your brand?
Guitars?
Yeah.
Jackson.
Jackson?
Yeah.
What kind of cab?
I have an old PV cab
Yeah.
right now, but how many cabs do I have?
Yeah,
I got like
so much
4 cabs.
stuff.
Yeah.
So much stuff.
Marshall cab, PV cab's the one I use most of the time.
Yeah.
Angle head.
Anglehead?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Tim?
Well, it depends on the band I'm playing in. In this band, it's definitely Fender Precision. It cuts through the mix really well.
Yeah.
Kind of like Iron Maidenish kind of sound, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And using an acoustic head, which is a great little combo thing. I paid $180 for.
Yeah?
It smokes. It's
Voice
great.
sounds
great.
Yeah, it does. And then I got a 610 Ampeg. That thing's like the real nice tight sound, and it's tighter than the 810.
Yeah.
The 810's a little bit muddy, I think.
So what do you play in Destructor then?
Instructor, I play my Ricks.
Yeah, okay.
Rickenbacker basses. It's just, I don't know, it's
it
just
fits
that band.
that, does
It
it?
fits that band so well. And then in the Vandalist band, I play those Billy Sheehan basses because it seems we're kind of more like an 80s, mid 80s, 85-ish
Yeah.
hard rock kind of band. So and it's got more meat to it. So I use that for that band.
Cool.
But like in Wretch, I use my Fender.
Right.
I had that bass since 1990.
Yeah.
I had it forever.
Hell yeah.
It's got a lot of miles.
And you?
Now I'm using a lot of my RG, Ibanez RG 760s. I was a Jackson guy forever.
Yeah, every picture I've got of you is with a Jackson.
Yeah, and I had this old Ibanez RG 760, and I used to play it every once in a while.
Not so
Switched
much.
now. I play my Ibanez's all the time, and I've got 4 or 5 of those things. They don't make them. They haven't made them for years.
Right.
It's like, when I see them on eBay, I grab them if they're
Right.
cheap enough. I do. I've got a little problem there.
Some
but
good addiction.
Yeah, I've still got my Jacksons. The thing with Jacksons, I prefer the USA stuff, and they cost a small fortune.
Sure.
So I've got a couple of those, and I don't play them too much. I break them out every once in a while. Amp-wise, I've got an Angle Powerball, love that. Cabinets, I've got the original Marshall cab that I bought in '84 that I still use.
Still use that?
Yeah, I still use that. Yeah, I mean, it's metal stuff. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. What kind of air guitar do you play?
Well,
I've seen you play it.
all the time. I use for years, for probably 30 years, I sang with a Shure SM58.
Yeah.
Just recently, I changed to a Shure 58 Beta, and I've been sort of avoiding mics of that sort because I've already sing high enough.
Yeah.
Do we need more? Do we need more high ends? But it's just I just found that it's. I do a lot of shows at the Agora, as you probably know, and
I do.
they switched to them, and I've just been after a while began to use them and became very comfortable with, it allows me to, like I don't like to do a lot of high notes, because when I do a high note, obviously it's I really punish. I don't want to punish the audience. I want them to enjoy what they're doing. And the Beta allows me to back off, and because it's just a high end,
Sure.
that I don't have to push as hard, and so it isn't so melt your ears off. And makes me then actually sing harder in the lower range, and so it gives a little bit more grit to what I'm singing. And so, because I'm so clean, I'm such a clean singer. You know what I mean? It's like I want, It's my opera training. I actually studied opera in college, and
Did you really?
I did. I studied. I was
Explains a
a
lot.
music major. Cleveland State University Vikings, and so I have to I keep having to thinking myself as to sing metal, but I want to sing. I want people to enjoy.
Yeah.
I want to be.
We do.
I want to sing in support. That's what I love to do, and so I wouldn't be in 2 bands playing out 2 tours and doing all this.
And doing power metal, which is that type of vocals anyway.
Right.
Okay, everybody, this is the segment of the show where we talk about what's on my radar. This week is Detroit, Michigan's Against the Grain. This is put out on Self-Destructo Records. It is a 2013 release, and this is called Surrounded by Snakes. Heavy hitter. You've got influences of punk. There's definitely some thrash in there, some heavier stuff, metal, all kind of combined together. Very cool, good, powerful vocals. Rickenbacker bass, there's no other sound like it. That's their 2013 release. And then the brand new one, Road Warriors. These cats tour sometimes 150 shows a year, which for me, Detroit being fairly local, that's a hell of a bill to be out there. And you can tell it by their stage presence. Guys are super tight. Great energy on the stage. I caught them at the Foundry in Cleveland. Man, good stuff. So, Against the Grain from Detroit, Michigan, they're on my radar. They should be on yours too. Right. Well, that show the night before the night before Halloween at Venue 18 down in Fostoria. I didn't even know you were in the house till I called your name on a raffle ticket.
I was invited.
Wow, Ricardo's really. I didn't know you were there. And then I told everybody who he was, and you jumped up and did Metal Gods with Power Theory. And the bar, one of the owners, Annette, I had told her about you before in conversation. We were talking about high-powered vocals, and I was like, one of the highest I could tell you is this guy named Juan Ricardo. Well, then you were there that night, so I went over and I was like, this is the guy I was talking about. And you guys did Metal Gods, and you hit the Halford note, and I have the video of it. She goes, what the? She was just totally taken back. She'd not heard anything like that, and she's a country girl, but
Right.
you turned her over that night.
Not good. I did not good. It's
Got another one.
right. It's not right. It's just I really feel that it's not just about doing high notes. Obviously, I mean,
Sure.
I can do high notes all night. I think it's about really singing. I really love to perform, to tell a story. I work really hard of just not. It just doesn't have to sound good. I work really hard in the diction and the articulation and the performance, and I want people to actually know what I'm singing about and understand what I'm saying.
A great example is The Whaler by Sunless Sky. That's one of my favorite songs, and I get this dark feeling on the ocean, choppy waves, and there's Moby Dick.
People at the edge of their lives, risking their lives hunting
You're
a
definitely
whale.
reading the story to someone.
right.
In that song, that one really gets me. Not that I was ever, maybe in a past life I was, but that one just gets me, man.
That's your past
It was
life.
definitely
so,
cool.
I mean, that's what I'm about. And the same with Wretch, and that was one of the things, when I first came over to the band, and I love the original Wretch music. I'm a Wretch, and this is the thing that's really was crazy, is I'm a Wretch fan.
Mm-hmm.
So when I come on Wretch, I'm like, oh my God, really? This is awesome. And so then, and I'm a fan of Colin, and I'm a fan of Ron's lyrics and stuff like that, so I really tried to sing them. But I really was, one of the things I wanted to do is to present my style, my stories writing style into the band. And so the new record has stuff like The King in Red about
I can't wait to hear
The King in Red is about a king who goes insane and thinks everybody's trying to kill him, so he starts killing off all the nobility in his, or The Throne of Poseidon, which is the story of the three titans that split up the world, Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon, and they all drew lots and decided one had earth, one had hell, and Poseidon was left with the water, and he was very angry about the fact that he was left as the last straw. And so the song is this angry song about Poseidon. So stuff like that is very different.
I love the story.
Very different for Wretch. Most of the songs are about driving and power and
A lot of war.
Love of war. A lot of songs about war and about driving and stuff like that. And I think Ron, the thing was really, really cool is Ron sort of already started to turn the music in a sort of storytelling direction. You know what I mean? From the original direction. So then it's an easy transition for me to go even farther in that direction. So
plus it's got some crazy fucking riffs. Really hard stuff.
There's some stuff on here. It's a little
We
different.
ended up a little bit on this.
Me and Mike, we struggled a little bit on some of this stuff.
Right.
Man. It's a little hard.
We wrote it,
and then I went, wait a
challenge
second.
for our
Yeah.
Well, the idea is to take the band into 2017, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that
Absolutely.
that's been around for
You
30
don't want to
years,
do 1983
take it to the
again.
next level in all aspects. And the
Yeah.
songwriting was one aspect. So
And that's the great thing to do, if you can do it, is channel for the old fans the original what built the band, but then give it that twist of now this lineup and this new heavy. I for one cannot wait to get my ears on that.
yeah.
Speaking of, we go on at 8:30.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
we're gonna wrap this this up, I want to thank you guys again for coming. This has been a great opportunity.
Thank you.
everybody.
I can't wait to get my ears on that stuff. And,
Lots of success with this. This is great.
oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me on the
Yeah.
show.
You guys are a huge part of this now. I mean,
Thanks for Aaron for having us here at Cyclops
Yes.
Tattoo. Thank
Yes,
you so
thanks
much
again,
for
Aaron.
this excellent space.
Cyclops Tattoo in the artsy district of Waterloo.
That's right.
Well, thank you guys very much, and let you get over there and jam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.